Good morning, Niagara. You're tuned into Car Connection, where the coffee's hot, the tools are ready, and the talk is always tuned up. I'm your host, Niall Motormouth Jenkins, coming to you straight from the Car Connection Workshop, where we mix a little humor, a little know-how, and a whole lot of horsepower. Here, it's not just about fixing cars, it's about keeping you rolling, saving you money, and giving you the confidence to understand what's under that hood. From the classics to the commuters, the weird noises to the what the heck moments, we've got you covered. So grab your coffee, sit back, join the crew, because this is Car Connection, your Monday through Saturday, 8 a.m. morning pit stop for stories, smarts, and a few good laughs. I'm Niall Motormouth Jenkins, and let's get shifted into drive this morning because we have a plethora. Yep, that's a big word for me on a Wednesday morning. Get it? Hey, we're one day closer to spring. I'm not counting, but I just thought I'd mention that right out of the gate this morning. Thank you for inviting me into your space as I invite you into mine. You may never be the same, but you are always welcome here. We'll have our morning swiggy in just a moment. If you are joining us for the very first time, pay attention to the drive-thru. There's no reversing in the drive-thru. Don't do it. That's a viral video right there. And you might not make it out. I have physically seen that happen in my neighborhood one time. And I'm thinking, am I going to survive this? I was in the lineup. I'm going, this is like, can we just helicopter me out of here right now? I just want to go home. Yeah, so no reversing in the drive-thru. Okay, you got that? All right, check your order. Always double check your order. I went through a drive-thru yesterday for the first time. I was on the road picking up auto parts and supplies for the shop, and they let me out of here for a couple of hours, and it took forever. Yeah. Have you ever been locked in an elevator? The security guard doesn't even know you're there. It's interesting. Yeah, I experienced that yesterday, unannounced. Very interesting. So be careful. If you get locked in an elevator and, they got the phone in there, who are you calling, really? Who's on the other end of the line? You don't know. You could be calling a pizza place. Anyhow, half an hour, they got him out. Anyways, good thing there wasn't any health issues going on because nobody knew they were there. That's crazy. No service light. Anyhows, before I get off on a tangent, yeah, we're going to have a swiggy in just a moment. It's nice and piping hot. I can see the steam coming off it, so that's a good time for that. Topic this morning. You ready for it? Moms and dads, grandparents, aunts and uncles, teaching kids car ownership. What schools do not teach. We're going to cover things like maintenance, basics, insurance realities, and why young drivers destroy cars financially, not mechanically. We're going to cover all of that and then some in a diet soda all at the same time. So whatever your favorite morning beverage is, I've just bought you some time to prep it, lock it down in your cup holder if you're just sliding through the drive-thru, and give that cup of whatever you ordered this morning a little wink, wink, nudge, nudge, and make sure that it's good. Got it? I've been burned on that one so many times. That's why I take my thermos now. It's like, you know what? If I want to mess up my coffee, I'm going to mess it up in my thermos by myself and know that I did it. So then I won't be discouraged, disappointed, or having to go for counseling. Yeah. All right. So that's what we're going to talk about this morning. What do we got going on tomorrow? Oh, here we go. This heavy-duty one. Do-it-yourself family garage culture. Yeah, we're going to cover that off tomorrow. So that's Thursday morning's Motormouth Morning Drive. Come and join us. This morning's episode, number 96. And why do I mention that? Because it's important. We've got almost 100 lessons in vehicle ownership, things they never told you. We begin season 2 early next week. Yeah, so there'll be 101 The first episode of season 2 will be episode 101. Can you believe that already? But go back. They're all 100 are in the library. We're about ready to bust out 200 videos on our YouTube channel, and we need you to give us a super duper push. Get us to 500 subscribers. We need to get to 1,000, and it seems to be taking forever. But thank you to those who have joined us in the month of February. All 28 of you, thank you for doing that, and make sure you're subscribed, because I check analytics all the time, because we want to hit our vision for our YouTube channel. Not only is it a teaching channel, but the vehicles we fix, and we have vehicles coming in. I got a van coming in from a single mom, and you're going to get an opportunity to hear her actual story on this van. I've got her convinced to sit with me in front of the camera, and I'll interview her, because you have got to hear the story on this van. You have to. Every single one of you. Guys, you're going to bawl your eyes out. So prepare yourself. It's not a chick flick, but it's going to tug at your heart a little bit. It is. And you need to hear these stories because they're important. As we talked about yesterday, and I wanted to spend a little more time on that. I think I'll bring that topic back again as, when you get a hand-me-down vehicle, and it's given to you by a grandparent, a parent, or it's a parent that's passed away and they left you their car, or a grandparent, an aunt or an uncle, a brother or a sister. What does that mean to you? Really? Put it in the comments. Send me a comment in any one of our YouTube videos, or jump on our website, which is the biggest toolbox in our entire cabinet, where everything we talk about is connectable through our homepage. Everything is there. Everything is available to you at carconnectionbusinessnetwork.com. On the homepage, you'll find all of our platform links for everything that you can connect with it. Like, share, follow, ring the bell, get the notification. Join us on Facebook. Skippy, my videographer, puts reels there. She's got one in the bank right now. She's saving to post on Friday. So you got to have a look at that one, because it's freaking hilarious. I kid you not. I think it's I got to give it the top 3. It's definitely in the top 3. That's getting posted on Friday of this week. That's February 27th, because we officially will have up our fleet maintenance, car connection maintenance schedule video. You won't want to miss that. I break the whole thing down for you to give you a super duper understanding about how companies with fleets of hundreds of vehicles keep them all running and avoid breakdowns, because that costs the company money. And they pack hundreds and thousands of miles on these things before they give them up. So I share how they do that, because I created my car connection maintenance schedule based on when I worked on hundreds and hundreds of fleet vehicles. And I'll tell you what, if I missed any of us techs working on fleet vehicles for the same company we were employed by, if you missed a light, even an interior light that wasn't working, you just kind of slid past it, oh my goodness, mayhem. Yeah, mechanics, mayhem would break out, because when the vehicle goes back to the fleet and the fleet manager hands the vehicle over for someone to check all the work that we did to that vehicle. We missed something and somebody's got a stink eye for us. Let me tell you, they would enjoy every moment rubbing our nose in it like a puppy that pooped on the rug, if you know what I'm saying. So I break that out for you, and that video, it will be uploaded this coming Friday. So then you'll be able to see the blooper and the reel that Skippy's put together. It's all wrapped around Groundhog's Day, because we have our own official groundhog in the Car Connection workshop. Yeah, there's Willie, and then there's Won't He, and we have Won't He. Won't he see his shadow? Exactly. You gotta stay tuned for that. So again, I digress a bit, but top right-hand corner, homepage of our website, carconnectionbusinessnetwork.com. Get yourself signed up for everything we're doing. support us, help us keep the ignition on and running on all 8 cylinders. We need to get monetized very, very quickly so that we can buy the parts, fix the vehicles, video the vehicles, and teach you from those videos what we're working on and what the maintenance is and the 5 things, what it is, where it is, how it works, how it breaks, and how you could have had some basic fundamentals about owning an automobile and maintaining it yourself. It's not a big deal. And after you watch the fleet service maintenance video, you'll see it's not a big deal to keep those vehicles you have running long term like I do. I just run the same checklist I'm teaching you on myself. That's why I have older vehicles that are in great shape. You have to put some elbow grease in. That means a washy and a wipey, a shampoo and set. Don't jam that half-eaten tuna sandwich or muffin under the seat. And don't be a car slob. Remember one time, I'm going to digress for a moment. Speaking of car slob, I had a couple of clients that would come in. Literally, we would have to take a garbage bag, industrial garbage bag, and empty out the car into the garbage bag and put it in the trunk so we could work on the car on the inside. I'm not kidding. And all the stuff, all the junk, and it was junk. It was pop cans. It was juice jars. And the list just went on and on. Napkins, Kleenex. And yes, we gloved up and masked up at that time. But here, we don't want to diss the customer, but at the same time, I don't want to sift through and work through all that whatever, What could you catch? My worker, Jimbo, would go, I ain't going in there. Well, I worked on it last time. I checked the service file. It's you this time, Jimbo. There's the bag. There's the gloves. Put everything in there. We the routine. Stuff it in the trunk, and we'll let the customer know everything we had to move is in the bag, in the trunk. And you know what? The next time the vehicle came in, that bag would still be in the trunk. Just saying. So don't be a car slob. You got to look after it on the inside and the outside, and then the mechanicals. And you know what? You got a vehicle that looks amazing, drives amazing, and is saving you and making you money every single day that you drive it. You don't need to get stuck in the never, never plan, paying interest, making principal payments for 5, 7 years. Then by the time you pay it off, you got nothing left but a wheel nut and the steering wheel, and you got to go get another one. You got to get your money working hard for you, not you working hard for the money. That's the mice getting smarter than the cat. I'm just saying. Yeah, so top right-hand corner, all the links are there. Click on, like, subscribe. Make sure you're subscribed. We have 93%. I want to make mention of this because it is very important that we let you know what's going on so you can help us. Because once we're monetized, we can buy parts and do the labor, shoot the video, and everybody gets something from that. And we can take care of the widows, the orphans, the seniors, those who are going through financial cramp, and, single moms. Busting butt out there trying to raise a couple of kids on their own and working. Man, my hat goes off. That's not easy. I don't have any kids. At least I don't think so. Anyways, that's another topic for another time. That's a part of my life I don't even talk about. You got one of those sections in your world? Hey, if you like real world car advice and no BS garage stories, hit that subscribe button because 93% of you watching our YouTube channel aren't subscribed. And if you subscribe, we'd be at the 1,000. The algorithms would go, welcome aboard. We love you. You're putting 3 videos up every single week since you started, and you have almost 200 videos. Come on in. We're friends. And then they'll start running some commercials, and then the money comes in, and then you know what? We can buy the parts and the supplies and everything and take care of business, take care of people. That's what it's all about. It's not about putting another shiny thing on my table. I don't need it. In fact, I had that conversation yesterday with someone here in the studio. I go, it's not all about me. It's all about people and serving. So if you haven't subscribed, what that tells me is YouTube's showing this to the right gearheads. join the Motormouth crew and let's keep your ride on the road. That's what we're trying to do for you. Trying to keep your ride on the road and put money back in your pocket, because I've been four plus decades in the automotive service trade, light truck passenger and heavy equipment and highway trucks and coaches, and I can tell you how they keep their vehicles on the road. And if you just change your mindset, and this all wraps in with teaching the kids. Yeah. Because here's the thing. Kids will do 10%, moms and dads, of what you do right. They'll do 100% of what you're doing wrong. And accurately, every single time. And you say, well, you just said you don't have any kids. Well, I really wanted kids, but it didn't work out. And I took a course called Growing Kids God's Way. And it was brutal. Brutally good. I mean, they show you and teach you how to work with kids properly. And, so it's not the days of thunder and lightning, screaming and yelling. And, kids respecting kids. You're respecting the kids. They're respecting you. And things get done. It was a great course. And it was tough because I was going to foster parent. And I did it over a winter. It was 6 months. Miss a class, you're out. And it was a certificate class. I got my certificate. So I do know some stuff, but I sure learned some stuff. So when I see meltdowns and stuff in grocery stores, I could fix that. Yeah, without any, language or colorful metaphors or anything breaking out. So if you need some help in that direction, I do my best. Do my best. I like learning. And like I said, I was interested in becoming a foster parent, and so you had to take this class in order to qualify, and I signed up for it. Yeah. And I did it, and I got my certificate. Anyhow, let's move on this morning. Let's have our morning Squiggy together, brought to us by all our amazing program partners and sponsors that help make things possible. We always have room for more sponsors. And again, when we get monetized, we won't be chasing sponsors. They'll be chasing us. And you know what? That really shifts the load off my back. 31 years I've been on the road with radio and our own live call-in show, Car Connection, on several different networks. And I have to be on the road lining up our own program partners to pay for the airtime. That's a full-time job, let alone everything else on its own, on the road sales. So all of you who are listening to me this morning do on the road sales. Hey, God bless you. You guys and gals are amazing out there, because it's not easy doing sales. And especially right now in this economy, it's a tough go. It's like pulling rope with knots in it. It's tough to get a deal. So thank you to Crystal Ridge Dream Center, being our faith-based nonprofit organization out there, and they're doing it. They're working and serving men, women, children, seniors, young adults, and single moms. They've got programs going all week for all those areas of life. And they serve meals out the door. Now they're almost up to 300 meals, Tuesdays and Fridays. They're serving love, hope, and changing lives one at a time in the Niagara region. And take a look at them on our website. All the logos are there for our program partners. Click on the logo. It opens, gives you an amazing profile page, and all the pages are the same. So navigation is super duper easy. And again, remember all the links, top right-hand corner, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Stevensville on the web, because my parents live there, and Skippy, our videographer, is a Stevensvilleonian, and put together that unique website to bring the community and the business owners together in Stevensville. So we have a profile page there. They put it there, and Skippy looks after that. And she's a great gal. She created it to help businesses and community work together. And I think that is just so, so cool. And there's a lot going on in Stevensville. Great eateries there. And that's where Safari Niagara is located. So lots of stuff going on there. And our iHeart Radio link is there for you, and our online store. to tell you just a bit about our online store if you're just joining us for the very first time. When you make a purchase and get some Car Connection motor mouth gear safely through our online website, order your size, your color, what you want, pay for it securely. Freedom Expressions ships it right out to your door. And that's one of the companies that are on the campuses of the Total Freedom Addiction Centers, open to Canadians and American residents. So we're helping through the sale of our merchandise, helping those struggling with addiction be able to get to a Total Freedom Addiction campus where a new life awaits them there. So come along, be part of the crew, and help us to help those who are struggling with addiction. Thank you to City Auto Sales and Leasing, providing low mileage quality vehicles at fair prices. And I'll tell you, they look like brand spanking new. Earl and Louise Grant, husband and wife team, they are car guys to the core. They have earned the moniker of being Greater Toronto Area's premier pre-owned auto store. Buy with confidence, be treated with nothing less than honesty and integrity. They have quite an inventory, but if you're looking for something specific, let them know. They have the resources, save you 1,000 steps. Thank you to Rainbow Motors and Garage up in Scarborough. Rita and Ramiz Shanuda, the brothers up there. Sales and service you can trust. So they service all makes and models, including light commercial vehicles. And again, they have a small car lot. They don't sell any junk either. And some of the vehicles qualify for aftermarket extended warranties. And if you're looking for something specific and you don't see it in your inventory, again, trust them to source that for you with their years of built-up resources. So that's Rainbow Motors and Garage Sales and Service you can trust. Thank you to our certified financial planning professionals, Tony Miele and Larry Tetro. 50 years experience as fiduciaries with IG Wealth Management. That's a new word. Management. They take care of investment portfolios. They'll review that for you. If you've got an investment portfolio with the bank, you're making pittance, they're making lots of money. You might want to ask some questions here. Debt retirement, estate planning, powers of attorney, health proxies, the whole 9 yards. They do the whole thing, and it is rock solid. Do not do that stuff yourself. Your estate planning, wills, powers of attorney, it's not a cake mix you want to buy in a box. They arrange mortgages. They have a great mortgage department. I haven't had a mortgage with a bank for a long time. Hallelujah for that. Let me tell you, great rates, great people to deal with. I think almost 20 years now. Life insurance, critical illness insurance, all available for you to sit down, leave your wallet at home, and pull in and sit up and pull that chair in and have that hour and a coffee with Tony or Larry and get your questions answered by those who have the fruit on the tree. So you get an hour discovery meeting at no cost. And these two guys are the most decorated CFPs in Canada, and they're very humble. They don't need any more clients, but they're reaching out. If our Car Connection listeners need a hand up or someone to answer questions for them, they're there to do that for you. Niagara Block, the Grimo family at 5000 Montrose Road, Niagara Falls. Building Canada since 1931 with building supplies, hardscape, landscaping materials. You want to check in and get everything lined up right now and get a contractor, and they can help you with that, give you a referral, help you to pick out products that you want to beautify your backyard and create that outdoor living space and hangout space, your oasis. But you want to get things started now because March is marching in next week. That's right, we are there. Well, the weather conditions for today, we have snow again overnight here in the south shores of Lake Erie. And we're going to be shooting a video next week showing you the ice castles and the lake completely frozen over so you can have a look into our world, what we deal with here on the south shores of Lake Erie. And this is the first time the lake has been totally frozen in the last few years. Like last year was just a gray, dreary, wet winter. And the year before that, we did have snow, but the lake did not freeze. and that caused lots of problems for lake effect snow. And we had some miserable winter weather along the south shores of Lake Erie 3 years ago. We had a 4-day blow here and no electricity. It was interesting. It certainly was very interesting. So we have to have a 72-hour plan down here. And that's real. That's for real. Because you guys out in like Burlington, in the Niagara region, Niagara on the Lake, St. Catharines, you get nothing. And we get crushed here. So we're going to show you that. Skippy and I are going to go out and shoot a really cool video and let you into our backyard. And all of you who may live in a place somewhere around the world, listen to this podcast, may never see something like that. A Great Lake completely frozen and looking like Antarctica. So it looks like a giant white marshmallow this morning here. 32 degrees right now with windy conditions. Wind is making it feel colder, about 16 degrees. Cloudy conditions expected around 7 a.m. this morning. Today's temperature range will be from 24 degrees Fahrenheit to 35, and I don't use Celsius. It's always English Standard Version for me. And it's going to feel like 14 degrees to 23 degrees. And precipitation, no rain, 0.95 of an inch of snow. We've got about 3 inches out there now, and it's still coming down. So take it easy out there. That could be a little bit slick and slickery, and you don't want to be spinning off and wrecking a car, and it just turns the world completely upside down. Thank you to Total Freedom Addiction Campuses for bringing us the daily weather this morning and providing healing and restoration to individuals and families enslaved by cycles of addiction and destructive behaviors. Remember, friends, you can't fight what you can't see, and that is so true. I had a relationship like that, and that's why it didn't work out, because you got to be able to get to that point where it's you, and you know it's you, and you're ready to change, and you're ready to get it fixed, and you're ready to do whatever it takes to get there. A new life awaits those who have made that decision, and they get to Total Freedom Addiction Campuses. All right, on 3, 2, 1, pass over the 16 pack of Crayola crayons and the unique Car Connection Workshop laptop made out of a folded up leaf bag. Take some notes. Get your co-pilot, take some notes. If not, just go to our iHeartRadio icon on the homepage of our website. Click Get into our library. Almost 100 episodes there for you. All the topics are written down. The episodes are there. The dates, the flight dates, everything is there for you to find and listen and re-listen and share. So on 3, 2, 1, let's have our swiggy together. You ready? 3, 2, 1. It's not coffee, but this apparently makes me healthier. It's not bad. I'm getting used to it. All righty then. Got your crayons ready? Let's jump into the topic this morning. It's a good one. I'm just saying. All right. Tomorrow, DIY family garage culture is disappearing. And here's why that matters. We're going to cover that tomorrow. This morning, teaching kids car ownership and what schools do not teach. And they don't teach it. And so where's that information and knowledge going to come from, where the kids learn some basic fundamentals? Our YouTube channel's there for them. Get them connected. They're going to learn about it. Just handing the kids a set of keys and saying, there's your car, that's good. Now that has become a headache for you. Because, yeah, they will drive it and abuse it and ding it and dent it and scratch it and bust stuff, and you're going to have to tape it on like NASCAR, screw things back together, jury-rig the car so things aren't falling off, if you don't teach them some basic fundamentals. So like I said earlier, when I was looking into becoming a foster parent, I had to go through a child rearing program, which was absolutely amazing. If you're not looking after your automobile, the kids are going to mimic that 100%. because kids will do 10% of what you're doing right and 100% of what you're doing wrong. So if they see you treating your car like a bad donkey and don't care about it, it's just a piece of sheet metal rubber, guess what they're going to do? To the nut. So if you buy them a car, moms and dads, and you give it to them, guess how they're going to treat it? Because they're watching how you treat yours. If you give your vehicle no respect and you're signed up for the never plan and constantly making interest and principal payments on a vehicle in partnership with the financial lending institutions, what are you teaching your kids? Exactly that. You know, I've often wondered why they took economics classes out of the schools, because they taught part of that in the economics classes. And I remember one time it got me in some really deep trouble, because sometimes I do speak my mind. I do. It's just that what you see is what you get. I've had some amazing automotive instructors over the years, and I had a military mechanic instructor, and I'll tell you, if it wasn't for them seeing more in me than I saw in myself, I wouldn't be sitting here as a master automotive service tech on light trucks and heavy equipment and highway trucks and coaches and diesels, the big monsters, because they pushed me. They saw that I had what it takes, but they really need to push me to do it. And I'm grateful, truly grateful to all those fellas that took the time to really be hard on me, and it paid off. I respect them today, but back then I want to just thump them one, you know. That's just the way it is. But what are your teaching? You know, I remember I said to the economics teacher, I go, well, if you're following everything you're teaching us about economics, how come we don't get a new economics teacher every year? Because you guys are making so much money behind the scenes, implementing what you're teaching us about economics and finances. I said, why are you here? Why are you still here? Yeah, that got me a detention and a trip down the hall. Yeah, to the guidance counselor. But it was a legit question. It's kind of like, you know, why don't sheep shrink when it rains? They're made of wool. You know, that's a legit question, I think. So anyways, I think that's why they took economics out of the schools. They don't want the kids to be financially trained to be financially free, because that gives you power. So anyways, that's a topic for another day, but I believe that's the whole reason why. Is why would you not want to teach kids, how to be economically sound? I don't know. Why would you not want to do that? Well, I think it's a political thing, but we won't sign up for that class this morning. Cars are the same way. Do you want your kids going out the door into the world thinking that they have to have a car payment for the rest of their stinking life, work their butts off to make the stinking car payment, and be car broke and barely making ends meet? The answer is no, you don't have to do that. But you do have to do your due diligence. Remember, I'm going to keep reminding you, your kids will do 10% of what you do right. 100% of everything you do wrong and correctly. So if they see you treating your vehicle like it's just a trash can, and when it's done, you go get another one. You put the car out to the curb and go get another one. Guess what they're going to do? That's exactly what they're going to do. And I'm going to pick on my big bro, just a little bit. He's probably not listening to this. I hope not. But anyways, he's a great example. Because I never got to touch the family car. I'm the middle child. Yes, feel sorry for me, but it's okay. I am the peacemaker, but I hide now. Yeah, you want drama. I just say no to drama. But they know if they call me, Motormouth can get it. He'll get it done. So anyways, my brother's a great example. My pops wasn't always great looking after his vehicles. I mean, he beat up some really nice vehicles, and I was just thinking about one this morning. It had a big block 454 in it, beautiful Chevy Dually, blue and white, 4-door. It was a beast, biggest truck I ever saw. Yeah, that's gone. It had another gorgeous truck, Chevy truck. It was gold. It was like 1970 or 71. I have the side marker lights for that in stock. It was gold with a white top. Oh, I loved that thing. It was gorgeous. But I couldn't touch it. I could not. We had a Gran Torino Brougham. Before that, we had a Pontiac Parisienne. And before that was, when I was still a youngster, was a Chrysler New Yorker 2-door buckets with a console 440 Hemi. Yeah, that's the one my brother put the drive shaft up through the floor. It just happened. That's what I remember. I don't know, Dad. It just happened. The drive shaft was shaped like a banana. I remember that. In the back, by the back seat, the tunnel was like pushed right up into the car. Like the floor was pushed right up. Yeah, it just happened. What do you think he was doing? The Gran Torino, he killed it. Totally killed that car. I watched it go to the scrapyard. Again, it just happened. So then the lecture came. I think it was around 15 at that time. I'd already bought my first car, and I was working on it, working up to getting my license the next year. I fixed my car up that I bought for $500. I paid for everything myself because the lecture came. If you think you're going to use the family car to truck your friends around and drag race and do all that stuff when we're not around, all the things that you should not be doing, think again. Using the family car for anything, you will never see or feel or touch the car keys ever while you're here. You buy your own car. If you can't buy one, you'll walk. If you buy one and you can't afford to fix it, you'll walk. If you can't afford to pay your own insurance, you won't be driving it. If you can't afford to put gas in it, you'll be walking. Get the picture? That was the lecture. So I bought my car at age 15, spent about a year fixing it up. It was a jalopy, but I made it something. I turned it into something. It was good. It didn't have any heat or any dash lights, but it was my car. Absolutely. And it ran like a dream. So I say that to say this as the story continues. So what did my brother learn? He wrecked a 65 Camaro. Then he got a 66 Camaro and destructed that. Then he got the Knight Rider Trans Am, the black and gold. It was a pretty car. That was I liked that car. It was sexy. He wrecked that. Yeah, he blew the motor up in that one. Didn't bother changing the oil or checking it. Yeah, that's generally what he liked. And tires with the wire hanging out. So when I had my shop on the Hamilton Mountain, I used to save those tires for him. Say, hey, bro, I got a really good set of tires for you. They're amazing. Exactly what you like. With the wire hanging out. So what did he get after that? So let me think. Where are we at? 65, 66 Camaro. I can't remember what year the Trans Am was. It would have been an 80-something, I guess. Yeah, it was the Knight Rider car. To a T. Black with the gold eagle and the trim and the wheel caps and stuff. All black and gold, that car was. Yeah, wrecked. I can't remember what he got after that, but it got wrecked too. And then I have one here that is mine, but it was his. And he wrecked that too. He blew the motor up because we don't check the oil. We don't, change the oil, and blew the motor up. And it ended up in my shop. And I put a motor in it and brakes, battery, hoses, belts, calipers, the whole 9 yards. And then He didn't pay the bill, but he got the car. But then my dad says, "Does your brother owe you any money?" I go, "Yeah, he owes the shop a pretty good coin to pay for the parts." "Well, he's trading it in. He's getting something else." So I ended up having to pay it out so that I could get my money back. And that car is sitting here, and we've shot some videos on it. We're bringing it back to life. And that may be one of the vehicles that we offer up as well after the Monte Carlo SS that you'll be able to have a chance to win. So, yeah. So what did he learn? That's where I'm going. He was a kid in our family. That's right. You can pick your friends, but you can't pick your family. Do I lend him my car? Never. No. Absolutely stinking no. At all. Period. So, yeah. That's a perfect example of, he followed my pops. My pops was hard on vehicles way back then and changing them out all the time. I mean, we got something different all the time. So if my brother didn't wreck them, my pops did. But he's really good with his vehicle maintenance today. He's 89. He's still driving, got all his faculties. But he's really, really good the last 10, 15 years of really taking care of the automobiles and the repairs and maintenance and stuff. And I'd like to think that maybe I had something to do with that. But the long and short story is, moms and dads, they need to have skin in the game. I know. I would, if I had kids, I would want to spoil them too, but it reminds me of a commercial. How many of you remember the commercial where the father and son are in the driveway and he's got a 65 Mustang GT Fastback and he pitches the kid, his son, young son, the keys. "Take her for a spin." Do you remember that commercial? I can't remember what it was for. You wouldn't do that with my brother at that. That would not be a good idea at that time. No, not to do that. I don't know how he is with his vehicles today. I don't, I'm out of touch. But anyways, that commercial reminds me of how I would be if I had a son. I would teach him and we'd build cars together if they enjoyed that. And I would certainly instill in them the importance of being the car caregiver and not abusing it, but enjoying it. And yes, I would pitch him the keys. I could be that dad in that commercial and pitch my son the keys and no, I don't need to be with him. He's not hot rodding around town. He's not, doing donuts in the Walmart parking lot or at Costco and getting busted. None of that stuff's going on. I would know he's going to treat it with the utmost respect and bring it back the same way it left the driveway. That's the type of dad I would be. Would I hand him a car? No. Would I help him build a car? Sure. Absolutely. Would I help him pick out a car? Yes. But would I pay all the expenses? No. I would not. They can get a part-time job. You got to let them have skin in the game because then it's their money. If they're going, "Oh, I need gas money. Oh, I need another $50 for gas money." Well, where are you going? Just home and school. Well, me and my buddies, they wanted to go out and have something to eat and blah, blah, blah. Well, what are you, a freaking taxi? Yeah, my buddies used to do that. When I turned 16 and I had my car, they go, "Hey, Niall, let's go to the movies." I lived in the country and going like, that's like an hour's drive or so. Who's paying for the gas? Well, we're your friend. And I go, "You want to go to the movies? I need a $5 from each of you." "What? But we're buddies." I'd go, "Then we're not going to the movies." "Yeah, it doesn't run on farts in a jar. Come on." So everybody was my buddy, even my typing girls that took care of my typing. Yeah, that's a different story. Yeah, they took care of that for me, and I gave them a ride home after school. That's right. It was a trade-off. Do my typing homework, which is paying me back tenfold now. I do more typing than I ever did in my typing class. Yeah, Mrs. LeBlanc, she said to me, she was my typing teacher. She goes, "One day, Jenkins, you're going to need to really know how to type." And I said to her, "Yeah, when hell freezes over." I bet you She's rolling over laughing today because, oh my goodness. But anyways, yeah, it was Marcia and Dana. It came into my head. Marcia and Dana, take them home after school. And they did my typing homework. Help me out. Anyhows, you got to have the kids into the game. What does that mean? They need to put some money into the car to buy it. Don't hand it to them. They need to be made responsible for the repairs. You drive it hard. You need to give them the same lecture I got. If you can't put gas in it, you'll walk. If you can't pay for your own insurance, and just earmark that, we're going to come back to that in just a second. If you can't pay for your own insurance, you'll walk. If you can't pay for the repairs, you're walking. They will learn to respect that automobile if they know that when they're working part-time job, they need to pull some of those bills off and pay to keep the car going. That's a luxury. Yeah, it's a luxury. That's what they need to learn. That it's not a given. It's a luxury. You abuse it, you use it and abuse it until there's nothing left of it, then you're buying the next one 100% yourself. You're not doing them any favors, moms and dads, grandparents. You're not. You're not doing them any favors doing it all for them. They will never have any respect for an automobile, and they'll be paying dearly for the rest of their life. Replacing them continuously, driving them into the ground. I'm just saying, I'm the guy looking from the outside, and I was the guy constantly patching these things up, and mom and dads would be footing the bill. And I'd be going, that wouldn't happen in my house. Yeah, I left home at 16, just so you know. I wanted to be independent. I knew what I wanted to do for a living, and I just wanted to get at it and get it done and not have the drama of my siblings. Yeah, I said siblings. Yeah, that's right. My siblings. And you know what? It made me who I am today, independent. I don't need someone holding my hand. I don't need someone telling me don't drive the car like that. I don't abuse anything, even jalopies. I take care of them, clean them, wash them, tend to them, because then if you don't, they cost you more money. So if you don't teach the kids that, you're setting them up for failure in life, and that's the bottom line. You're setting them up for failure. And I'll share one more story here as we go a little long this morning. I know. That's why they call me Motormouth. I'll just pick on one particular kid and the father lending him the car. It was, I think it's safe to say their names because, you know, it's probably been 40 years now. Joe and Joe Jr. The father, nicest man. Oh my gosh. Quiet, never said two words, paid the bill. See you next time, Niall. Thank you. Well, then Joey Jr. gets his license. And, you know, it was interesting because the father and the son, they could have been brothers. You ever seen that before? Absolutely. Mannerisms right down to the nut. If you've seen one, you see the other. Well, Joey gets the keys to the Saab 900 Turbo. And that thing is being towed into my shop almost weekly. So Joe Sr. comes down to have a chat with me. He goes, Niall, what's going on with this thing? You know, this wasn't happening before. Is your work getting sloppy? And I'm going, no, it's not it. And I knew what it was. Joe Jr. was the next drag racing queen in the city of Hamilton. And the car's coming in on a flatbed. I mean, broken? Oh, beyond. And stuff we already fixed. Absolutely exploded. He blew the axle shafts out of it 3 times. The third time, my transaxle rebuilding company out in Burlington, David just retired a couple of years back. He said, Niall, you got to have a talk because the kid, I can't keep doing this for free. It's not the axle shafts. It's not the CV joints. It's the kid. He's racing it and spinning the wheels and then when the wheels grab, they bust the axle right off. So I had to call Joe Sr. and say, I'm putting an axle in again today. You need to come and see me and bring Joe Jr. with you. So Joe Jr. is throwing me under the bus to his father, Joe Sr. So we're standing in the shop looking at it. I got it on the lift and I go, everything's back as it should be, but David sent the third shaft back. You need to see it. He goes, wow, that snapped right off. I go, yeah, how did that happen? Joe Jr., would you like to tell your father, or would you like me to tell the whole story, what you've been doing to me and my guys is throwing us under the bus while you're out there drag racing your father's 900S? Joe Sr. turns his head slowly. Well, what have you got to say? Yeah, he's right. He says, well, you're going to pay him back for all the labor that he's done for free. You're going to pay him. And he looks at me and goes, you make a bill for all that labor for the other 3 axles. Joe Jr. is going to pick the tab up for that. Yeah. And he almost set it on fire. Well, it was on fire. That's how it ended up coming in a 4th time was he got the catalytic converter so hot, and on the Saab 900s, the catalytic converter's right in the hump underneath the console, and he got the floorboards so hot that the carpet started on fire, melted the main harness that powers up everything, and it took me 2 months to fix that car and wire about 150 to 200 wires, cut out the melted spots, and solder in a new piece and match the wiring, and the insurance paid for it. So that was when Joe Jr. got his own vehicle. It was a little purple Chevy Blazer, and he destroyed that within a couple of months. So that's a great story. That's not the only story. I experienced this at the shops with moms and dads, with daughters too. Yep, the angels with the black wings. Yeah. So if you don't teach them to look after their vehicles, the schools no longer provide that service. They will destroy the car completely, body, trim, paint. There won't be a straight panel on the car anymore, and they ruin them completely financially. There's no value left to it when they're done. I have vehicles coming in that were beautiful, and then they weren't. There wasn't a spot on any side of the vehicle that didn't have a dent, a scratch, a piece of trim missing, something hanging off. They were beat up. How does that happen? It just does it? No. There's no respect for it. They don't have any skin in the game. Now, I'm going to finish off here because we've almost gone an hour this morning, but this is a hot topic, and it's still going on. And that's the recipe. The recipe for disaster is just handing the keys over. Here's your car, honey, or here's your car, Sonny Jim. That is danger for the rest of their life. And then there's that kid that really, really appreciates it and looks after it and washes it and vacuums it and tends to it. That's a rarity. I can tell you that. That's a rarity. Insurance. If you have your son or daughter on your insurance policy and they're out there doing this stuff, just remember, they get a ticket, your premium goes up. It affects you, moms and dads. And I remember when I was getting my own insurance, my pop saying, you're getting your own insurance on your own car. And he called our insurance agent at the time and said, when Niall comes in, he does not go on a family car. He gets his own policy, or he doesn't. And he doesn't drive it. Because everything they do in that vehicle on your insurance policy will affect your insurance premiums and your driving record, mums and dads, just so you know. They have a wreck, that's on you. Your premium goes up for 7 years. They have another wreck, that's on you. They have a clean record. because they don't have a policy with their name on it. Yeah. You need to not do that. They need to have their own insurance off to the side. Because a ticket, a wreck, parking ticket, it all goes on you. Your policy will go through the stinking roof, and when they get their own policy, they're starting at zero. Clean, spotless record, but you don't because your kids wrecked it. So that's the super duper danger zone. You just do not do that. They have their own insurance record. It's their own deal. Otherwise, I have experience where parents were going from paying $800 or $900 a month to $6,000 a month to drive their car back and forth to work because of their kids. This wreck, that wreck. Oh, it just happened. Oops, I didn't mean to do it. And that's it. There's the story. We're going to end it there. Something to really ask your insurance agent about. Don't just put them on there. Something to think about. And are you teaching your kids how to be a caregiver of an automobile and not be paying through the nose for the rest of their life because they think they got to buy a new car every 3 to 5 years? Because that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. So till tomorrow, happy motoring, happy healthy motoring. I hope I gave you some food for thought and didn't beat you up too much, but this is a heavy-duty topic that really needs a heavy-duty discussion and then some, because it's the danger zone. Teaching kids car ownership. The schools are teaching them nothing with regards to maintenance, basics, insurance, realities, and why young drivers destroy cars financially, not mechanically. No skin in the game. Happy, healthy motoring, friends, and we'll see you tomorrow. Drive safe out there. Hope you have a wonderful Wednesday, and put the coffee on. We'll come to your house. Bye for now.